It's time for Film-o-rama!
Hello everyone, welcome to episode 8 of Film-o-rama. I'm Logan Marks.
And I'm Sam Baxter.
And this week's picks is Amazon Prime's Prizefighting, The Life of Jem Belcher, and Paramount Plus's The Mayor of Kingstown. How you been, Sam?
Been all right, man. You know, just been pretty busy. Been working a lot. Just, you know, trying to hang in there. Went and saw the new Top Gun movie. That's not new anymore, but yeah, it was good. It was a good movie.
You know, I've never heard a bad review. Everybody says it's awesome.
It was good. You know, I mean, the first Top Gun movie I liked, right? That movie came out when we were little kids, but it was a good sequel, and I kind of heard they might make more. I'm not sure. I don't know how much they want to play with that, but it was a good movie. It was really well done. I recommend it. I mean, we're not gonna do a review on it today, but it was a good movie. I highly recommend watching it.
Because is that still in the theaters?
Yeah, actually still in the theaters. No, it's not streaming yet.
Oh, okay.
No,
not yet.
But it's in the theaters. But it was still good, and I mean, you might want to just wait. You know, just unless you can find a theater that shows a movie for like $2. You know, something like that.
Yeah, it's like I don't remember. I was never, not like I wasn't a fan of it or I hated it. I just never thought it was that great. Like I liked the movie when I was a kid. I tried rewatching it and I was like, oh, this isn't that good. I didn't like it when I rewatched it. So, and I can understand why everybody wants to see the new one because of the nostalgia of it. But I was never that excited for it to come out.
Of course.
I would probably watch it like if it was I saw it streaming there and I'd be like, oh yeah, I'll check it out. See how Tom Cruise looks now. But since he never ages, so he probably just looks the same.
he I kind of finally saw him, and there was a couple times where he actually started kind of looking a little bit older. Yeah, to me he did. You know, because you know he's always been ageless, right? All the Mission Impossible movies, he just looks better. It's like, damn, like this guy looks good, and you know he's just fit and he just looks young, and I'm not sure what type of Scientology medicine he takes, but but it's working well.
Some sort of elixir that he just
I don't know what type of sorcery
he
does, but it fucking works.
Well, maybe it's height because he's only 5'7" or
5'5". That guy's small. Yeah,
is he that short? Yeah, maybe it's because he's so tiny. He doesn't.
People who are shorter don't age.
They still look like kids. They're so tiny. He's like a little child.
How old are you, little boy? I'm 82 years old.
I'm 82.
No, it was good though. It was good. And how about you? What's been going on with you?
It's been pretty. Work's been kind of slow, so I think people are getting kind of restless. Oh. Yeah, I had something. Okay. Let me ask you a question. Okay. Do you like nose rings?
For me or on other people?
Like, I'd say on women.
I don't give a shit.
Do you care if a woman? You don't give a shit of a woman? Okay. See, that was my point when somebody came up to me. I saw there was a girl at work.
Oh shit.
And she was talking about. I looked at her face and she was talking to me and I was like, "Did you just get a nose ring?" Mm-hmm. And she was like, "Yeah." She was kind of shy about it. She was shy about it, and I guess she was like doing it to empower herself or something. I don't know.
Yeah, whatever.
But it was like, yeah. And she was like, "Well, what do you think?" And I was like, I really don't like him. It just looks like he got snot on your nose." Anytime some girl comes up and they think they're all cute with their nose rings, all I can think of is like, you got something on your nose and it's probably a booger. And so I've never been a fan of them. And that's what I told her. And I was basically saying, like, you know, I think most girls get jewelry or nose rings or tongue rings and all that. It was never for men because most men don't care about that shit. As long as you have a pair of tits and you look good. A nice ass, men will talk to you. But all this other shit, like nails, and rings,
it's superficial. They like that. They like that for each other.
Yeah, they like that to compete with each other, and that's basically what I told her. And she got upset. She made it sound like she was trying to make it sound like I was trying to dig on her. Oh. And so that was a conversation we had.
Wait. So just to be clear, she asked your opinion, right? You didn't come out and say, "Hey, this is what I think." She asked you.
Yeah, because I saw it. She said, what do you think?
Okay, so she asked you. So you told her. So
I told her.
That's a problem people that people have is they shouldn't be asking questions if they don't really want the answer.
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
Okay, so what happened? Was that it?
Well, she got upset. Yeah, she got upset, and so like I felt kind of bad. I was like, well, I didn't mean to make her upset. Maybe she took it wrong or something. So, so later on, I went to go. I went to talk to her. We were in the room together, and I was like, hey, are you okay, man? And so she got all pissed off, and
she got mad because you asked if she was okay.
Yeah, because she says, why does everybody keep asking me if I'm okay? Because just because I have a resting bitch face, nobody, you shouldn't be getting, you shouldn't be I shouldn't have to explain myself all the time. And I'm like, you know what?
Fuck you.
So I was like, okay.
I'm out of here.
Yeah, so I was like, so I said, you know what? Don't worry about it. I will never fucking bother you again. And I just fucking got out and I left the room.
There you go.
And then she got upset.
Oh, I wonder why.
And so she told somebody else. And
Logan's mean. Logan's an asshole.
Yeah. Basically, I'm the bad guy now. So they came up to me telling me how they was basically telling me, hey, you hurt her feelings and all this that. And I'm like,
with being honest with your opinion that she asked for, or because you went to apologize. Which one did you hurt her feelings on?
I think it's because I had a pair of testicles.
Okay. The reason that sounds right. Well, we got to the bottom of this one. Case closed.
But that's how I felt anyway.
Okay. No, I got you. Was another woman that came in and said this to you?
Yes, it was.
Oh shit!
And so she told me that. So I was like, all right, well, you know what? I'm the adult. I'll go apologize. I'll go to her and apologize again, and just maybe maybe figure out what went wrong. So I went up to her and I basically just told her, it's like, hey, I think you're a cool person. What I told you is it was not what I meant. I just meant, I didn't mean that you were superficial or anything. I'm just saying, guys don't like that shit. You asked me my opinion, so I told you. And
yes, I think that's the bottom line.
I think women just do that for themselves. I had no dig at you. That was just my opinion on face rings because I can't.
On your nose ring that you asked about.
Yeah, and I'm thinking I'm thinking in my mind, it's like, this is something that you put on your face where anybody can see it, and you don't want anybody to say anything about it.
I know,
but
I don't want any attention to this. But look at me.
Don't. I don't want attention, but I'm gonna put something on my face that draws attention to your eye while you're talking to me.
Yeah,
but and to be like, I think she's a cool person. I really like her.
Yeah.
And we ended up being cool at the end. Like we kind of told each other what we really meant, and just apologized to each other. And it was cool at the end. But it was like, why are we bringing so much drama for something that it's a fucking piece of metal on your nose?
I don't get it, man. I don't get it. Like I said, some of those things I just don't. I don't understand. Again, like if you're into that stuff, right? I know guys who are like have all that type of stuff. They like girls like that too, right? That's a certain type of attraction, and not to say that people who have them, I don't hate them or anything. That it's just not for me, right? I don't care for them, but I just don't. Like I said, for anybody, no matter what the fuck it is, if they got a tattoo or if they got a new shirt or something, and they ask you your opinion, and something like I got to the point now where I say, hey, yo, you sure you want to know what I think? Because I tell them that, and then they're like, maybe not. I'm like, okay, But if they say yes, then I'll say, okay, I think that fucking looks shitty, or it looks bad on you. I'll be on, or it looks nice, right? But if they're asking, that's the thing I don't like, is when they're asking and they don't like what you're gonna have to say. Like they expect you to like, oh, it's fucking great, like awesome, good for you. That's what they want. And when they don't get that, they just, it's like.
But even if
don't ask,
even if she didn't ask, well, my thing is like, why are you putting something on your face that's gonna draw attention and then act like it's.
Did she say why she got it?
She said some. Not really. I really didn't understand her reasoning for it. I think because she didn't like her nose. And she got this to build confidence about her nose, which didn't make sense to me because I'm like, why are you why you're attracting attention to something that you don't feel it.
You don't want people to really look
Yeah,
at.
pay attention. But if it's something like in the middle of your face, so everyone's gonna have to look at it. So, and I can understand that because I got a big schnoz. You know, and I'm not. My nose is not my favorite feature, but you know, I don't add. You know, I don't put a tattoo on it.
You don't put anything on it.
Yeah,
look at
tell
me.
people to look at it. I get enough weird shit growing on it.
Yeah, exactly. That's just odd, man.
But I don't know. I just chalk it up to like men not understanding women and women not understanding men.
It's the story of life, man. The never-ending life. I don't know. Like I said, some of that stuff, it's not even worth, like, to me, it's not even worth answering, you know, because you know you're not going to give them, unless you're going to give them what they want to hear, what you know they want to hear.
Yeah.
It's just not worth it.
Yeah. Well, I just, after that, I didn't start realize, but I started to, maybe I should just not, if I know somebody that is going to be sensitive about stuff, I'm just not going to deal with it. I'm just not going to say anything. I'm going to just keep my mouth shut.
I have no opinion.
No opinion. I'm going to move on and just talk to the people that I know who can take a joke.
But, you know, everyone's becoming so damn fragile and woke and shit lately that you can't, you know, almost nobody can take a joke anymore. You know?
I know. That's what kind of bothers me a lot. And it worries me.
Look at those comedians getting attacked and stuff.
Yeah, it's like, like that. It's like that, and that really worries me, and it makes me.
It is.
Because nobody can just take an opinion and say, okay, I accept, you know, that's your opinion.
Or a joke. I mean, stand up, like all that stuff when we were growing up. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but all that stuff when we were growing up, you know, everyone was, you know, they made fun of everybody. Right? You're in a comedy show, they make fun of the people in the front row.
Yeah.
That was their shtick a lot of times, right? And nowadays, it's like, how dare you I'm going to fucking get you. I mean, look at Will Smith, you know, how he attacked Chris Rock. What a fucking bitch-ass move, you know?
Yeah, this is a bitch-ass move. And then he was trying to apologize like last week or something like that.
But it was like, I didn't even watch it, man. I didn't even check out the apology because I had heard that it was just so like fake, or he was like reading it.
Well, and it was like it was all timed.
Like it wasn't even sincere.
And because it was all timed for like some movies or something that he had coming out. So it was just like one of those things they put out there to get attention, or to, you know, to try to soften the blow so that maybe someone will still watch shit. Because I think he's pretty much gone now. Like, I don't think he can come back from that. If he does, it's going to be a long time before he does.
Was I talking to you about how I was never a fan of Will Smith?
Yeah, we both never really liked him.
Yeah, I like, this is gonna make people like hate me or hate us, but I never liked Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. I never really thought he was that good of an actor. Like I felt like his first, like, every movie he was in, like right after that, he was like a cop or like some like type of, you know, authority figure like that, like in the military, like Independence Day. Now Independence Day was a good movie, so don't get me wrong, that was a great movie, but I just felt like everything he did was just always the same type of character, and I just felt like he was just too one-dimensional, and I was never a fan of his. And I didn't like Jada Pinkett either.
Yeah, I think we talked about this before, where he just wasn't. It took me a long time to even like
start considering watching his movies.
And even like, even though I watched them, he was always the one thing that annoyed me about them. It was one where I'm like, this would have been a lot better if he wasn't in it, and if
it was somebody else.
Yeah, if they put in like Denzel Washington, I would have been a lot. I was like, yeah, that was probably a lot better. I mean, if it's a comedic role, he did okay, but his comedy was always, I don't know, just kind of lame to me. Like, I didn't find him that funny.
I never did either, but again, I'm sure we're in the minority with that, so we should probably stop talking about that, because I'm sure people are pissing off people about not liking his. Yeah, that's true. I hated Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. I couldn't stand that show.
I did like the other characters, like, because he wasn't the main. Well, he was the main character.
Yeah,
but
he
there
was
a lot
the main
of
character.
But there was a lot of characters in that show that I enjoyed. Like like Carlton was good.
I know, I get that, but he ruined it for
me. It like, I remember watching them when they first came out, but I never watched the reruns. Like, it's not something I went out to go see.
I think I probably saw the first season or two, and I think because I had a crush on the sister. Remember Hillary?
Yeah,
I thought she was hot, man. Yeah, you know, young teenage boy me was like, fuck yeah, like, I'm all over her.
Yeah, she was one of the main reasons why I watched it.
Me too. But then I kind of got to like, I don't really care. I never finished the series. I never watched syndication. And then when they re-brought it back, it looks all like gritty and tough now. But I was like, I'm not gonna watch that.
No, like I tried rewatching some of them, and I just can't.
You can't.
They're just. Because I remember being a kid watching them and thinking they were just okay because at the time that's pretty much all we had, you know.
Yeah. We had
now,
3 channels.
Now there's so much fucking options. Like I'm not gonna go watch that.
Yeah. No, thanks. Well, that's too bad. I'm glad you guys buried the hatchet. I hope she's okay.
Oh yeah, she's good. I like I said, I really like her. She's a good person. Mm-hmm. It was just kind of annoying me. I think a lot of it was because I get annoyed when you can't say things.
I know, yeah, exactly. When everyone's all fragile.
Yeah, I think that bothers me more because like I've had people tell me really mean shit, and I just like blow it off. It doesn't really bother me anymore. But maybe it's because of my age. When I get older, you just don't give a fuck what people think.
Yeah, you're like I get all these death threats. I just blow them off.
I blow them off. I don't want to die anyway, so
I found a bomb in my car. I got it out. I'm good. Not that big of a deal to me. I'm over. I'm old. I don't care.
I don't give a shit. I'm gonna die soon.
Yep.
All right. Well, let's get back to the movies and the shows. So.
All right.
So the first one is Paramount Plus, The Mayors of Kingstown.
Yes. So that was a McLusky family of power brokers tackling themes of systematic racism, corruption, and inequality in Kingstown, Michigan, where the business of incarceration is the only thriving industry. Damn, I have a hard time reading that. Yeah, I thought. What do you think?
I thought it was okay. Like I liked it. Like I am not a fan of like crime dramas.
Okay.
I don't really care for them. It has to be really special for me to sit there and like actually go through and watch them. Mm-hmm. But this one was actually pretty decent. Like the first episode was pretty good. Like it. Mm-hmm. It did remind me a little bit of The Sopranos. It had that.
That's a fantastic show.
Yeah, so. And which is a great show. Like I love. Like I rewatched The Sopranos like last year. And fuck, I can't. I watched every episode again, and I still loved it, and I'll probably rewatch it again because it's still good.
I want to do it, but it's just so long, and I just can't. I don't have enough time to just dedicate myself to do that.
And the episodes were kind of long too, but and I don't know with TV series if they go more than a half hour or like 40 minutes, I'm just like I don't know.
You kind of tune out, yeah. It's kind of like too long.
I don't know if I have enough time. It's not like a movie because I know there's going to continue. You still have like 9 more episodes maybe to go through.
Yeah, exactly.
So, but I liked it. I liked it because it was a lot like The Sopranos. It had that grittiness to it, and just like all the corruption and all the backdoor deals and stuff was pretty entertaining.
Yeah, I think another thing I like about that is how crafty and intelligent they are with doing that stuff. You know, all the people who are supposed to be good, how all the shady shit they do to just satisfy what they want done. It's like, damn, this is amazing.
Yeah, and they were doing it like it was like no big deal. Like that was just like an everyday thing. Like, oh yeah, we're gonna do some corruption today.
Exactly.
Let's not worry about anything legal.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because we're the ones who enforce the legality. So if we're all on board, fuck it, we're good. You know, it was interesting that it was a good. I found it to be pretty good. Like you said, it was Sopranos type esque.
Yeah, it did feel like a crime drama. It felt more like a gangster series, like a gangster movie.
Yes. Yeah, I was gonna say I didn't feel like it was a crime drama. I didn't get that feeling. I ended up watching the second episode because I was like, this is pretty good. You know, I liked it. Like you said, a lot of times, maybe because I'm getting old, a show that's an hour now is like, fuck, that's a long show. Yeah. That's one of the reasons why I can't watch Sopranos again, because I'm like, fuck, that's a lot of show. Even though, again, no knock, Sopranos was fantastic. I loved it, everything about it. But this is, like I said, I felt this is a good show. The writing's good. I feel like it's pretty like gritty, edgy. You got all walks of life. You got the Crips that he's working with. You got the the other policemen. You got like the SWAT. You got everyone who's just other detectives. That are just in on this. The police guards, and he just makes everything try and run smoothly. But I mean, that's a headache. It looks like there's a powder cake that's gonna explode.
Yeah, every when you're watching it, like I felt like when watching it, you're like, well, man, something's gonna go wrong. So
yeah,
there's just too much shit to deal with. I don't know how
there is.
There's a lot of pressure.
And go ahead.
No, and I was actually pretty surprised that what character I thought was going to be a main character like got killed off so quickly.
Oh, in that first episode?
Yeah, and I was like, what the fuck?
know. I was like, oh, shit!
Yeah, I was like going to be like, okay, he's going to take the money and he's going to take off, and they're going to be like, all right, how are we going to get this guy back? But all of a sudden,
nope.
He's like, boom, he's gone. And I'm like, holy shit, they just killed that dude. He seemed like I thought he was going to be one of the main characters.
And that's how they played it. I mean, it's good writing. I think it's good storytelling. It's, it looks like like it could be like an industrial, Michigan town. It's got that kind of a feel. And I mean, we all know that like prisons are big business. They say, right? Prisons just going up everywhere. That's just big business. It's all contracts, private sector contracts, and that whole area is just all those prisons. And it's like, fuck, keeping the peace. Keeping the group, the groups in the jails, the whites, the Mexicans, the blacks. They had, each one of them, like, they all know their own lane, and they'll do what he says, but it's not always really easy. It looks like it's kind of, you're walking on eggshells there.
Yeah, and there was a surprisingly good amount of tits in the show too.
In
the first episode,
how can a show be bad with tits?
Yeah, and I was like, this is just like The Sopranos. You got
exactly. Yeah, I know.
I was like, what more can you want?
Yeah, I know. It was good. Like you said, it was Sopranos type-esque. I mean, it wasn't like mafia like that, but it was good. Like I said, the writing was good. It's on par. I'm gonna probably finish the season most likely.
Are you?
Yeah, to me it's good enough to do it.
Yeah, I'll probably run through a couple more episodes and see how because like I have to admit at the beginning of it it felt a little slow.
It did, yes.
And then all of a sudden it just boom, it just like took off like in the middle of the episode. And then after that I was kind of hooked. I was like, okay, what's going on here? What's this guy doing with the money?
You had to figure out who was who, right? They kind of had to explain and the type of dynamic they had, the relationships and stuff. So I felt like it was good. I felt like the writing's good. Like I said, the grittiness and edginess is there, and it's the guy's just like kind of always on it. Like I said, I watched a couple episodes. He's just always kind of like he's in charge, but he's just kind of like always watching himself. He's like, fuck, I have to tread lightly, and I got to keep these guys happy. I got to keep them happy, but they're listening to me. And if I don't make a decision, I'm sure I'm going to piss off one of them, right? Yeah. It's not always going to be. It's like, God damn, you're like a fucking referee,
Yeah.
You're just going to make somebody mad with your choices. It's good. I like it. Yeah. I would recommend it.
I would too. And Jeremy Renner, I can't believe like the cast they had was actually pretty good.
Yeah, he's good. Yeah, Jeremy Renner's good. They have a lot of good people in here. I mean, we won't name them all, but I mean, it's a lot of good. It's good acting. You know what I kind of felt like a little bit also is, and I haven't seen them all. People have been telling me about The Wire. Did you ever watch The Wire?
Everyone tells me to watch it, and I have not watched it. And
I started watching it about a month ago, but I only got to like 4 or 5 episodes. But what I liked was good.
Yeah.
But everyone it gets high ratings, and the only reason I don't is because it's like 5 seasons and. I think it's like 10 or 12 episodes each, and then it's from like 2002, and I always tell them, isn't it dated? They're like, fuck that, you watch it. So I'm like, all right, I'll try and squeeze it in one of these times. But I kind of felt, I'm not going to say it was equal to that because I have not seen enough of both, but
yeah,
I kind of felt like it's kind of got like the same type of grittiness, which is good. That's my personal opinion. I liked it.
Yeah. So like, what would you give it? What's your rating?
Out of 5, I'd give it a 4. I'd give it a 4.
Yeah,
I'd give it a solid 4.
Yeah, I felt the same way. I think a solid 4.
It was good.
Yeah, I couldn't really see anything too wrong with it. There was I mean, I know when I think
it's gonna get better. That's how I feel.
When I looked through I went through the IMDb just to check the reviews on some of them.
Okay.
But it seems like everybody liked it. But there was like the teacher, the mother of the two boys. Yeah, she would teach, and everybody fucking could not stand her, and her teaching. And
really?
Yeah, I guess a lot of people didn't like the fact that they were like introduced like Native American history into
What's the problem with that?
I don't know, but like when I saw the reviews, a lot of people were just like calling it like it was like a woke they felt it. But it was funny because like I didn't see anything really woke in the whole thing because there was only the small. There's only like small segments of her doing this, and in the first episode anyway. But I guess she does this in
she does in other ones. Yeah,
but it's not even a minute long for.
No, there's a couple of them. Like in the second episode, she talks more, and she's talking about like the first African slaves, how the Africans were selling them off, right? Because you always, you kind of some people like know that, like everyone's like, oh, they. The Spanish, the Portuguese took, all the Africans from them. But it's like, when you find out, you look at more history, it's like some of the Africans were the ones selling them. And she talks about that. She talks how it happened. It doesn't feel woke to me. She's giving history. That's all she's doing. Talking about natives and that. I mean, that's all it was. It was just a lesson. She's not saying you need to fucking respect or you need to honor. She was not doing anything like that. She wasn't like, talking down to them or... She just telling them how things are, or what occurred. That's all she was. That's how it felt to me.
Yeah,
I don't like woke shit at all.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of woke stuff, but that didn't really bother me. I don't know.
It didn't feel woke at all.
No, I think that's what I thought was funny because when I was going through the reviews, like people were just giving it like ones or twos because of just that. I'm like, like they saw that. Like I saw one review where some guy was like, "Yeah, I watched it with my family." And as soon as that came on there, I had to shut it off.
Oh my god!
I shut it off, and we're all in agreement that we didn't want to deal with any of this woke shit, and so we turned it off and we never watched it. We never watched the rest of it.
Those are the people that live in a bubble.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. But
those are the people that like whatever that they see around the world that's it.
Yeah. And I thought that was funny because I'm like, well, you're just doing the same thing that you think that
I know
you think they're doing to you, But I just found that entertaining.
Yeah, I didn't know that. That's stupid. That's fucking dumb. But I didn't feel like it was woke.
I didn't either.
I stand by that.
Yeah, I stand either. I thought it was a good series.
Yeah.
All right. So
we got
you want to move on to Amazon's Amazon Prime, the Prize Fighter, the life of Jem Belcher.
Yeah.
All right.
What did you think of that?
That is at the turn of the 19th century, pugilism. I don't know what that.
Pugilism, boxing fighters.
Oh, okay, pugilism was a sport of kings, and a gifted young boxer fought his way to becoming champion of England. Mm-hmm. So, what did you think about this one?
Okay, between us, I'm the big sports fan, right? I like boxing, so I was really excited for this.
Okay.
I felt like it was good. I'm not sure why Russell Crowe was on the front. He was barely in it a little bit. Jem Belcher, I'm being a dick and anal about this, but like in real life, some of the stuff didn't happen. Whatever, right? He never really knew his grandpa. Okay, whatever. I can bypass that. The story was good. It was interesting. It was interesting to see the boxing, how they fought over 100 years ago versus now. But the thing I think I kind of didn't like was a little bit. Some of the acting was a little bit lame. Like it felt weird because the boy he watched his grandpa. His grandpa was a shithead. He was a bare knuckle fighter, and he watched him just piss his life away. Right, his mom, his own daughter, which was his mom, Jem's mom, didn't even get along with him. He saw him all that shit. As soon as Jem started winning, he's like went straight that way. It's like it didn't even like have a chance to like be enticed. He was like, "Fuck yeah, I'm gonna be that way," and his life just kind of spiraled down. And then when he tried to get back up, it felt like a Rocky movie. Like they would. It felt like, you remember how Rocky he'd get beat up and then he'd have to come back and because he got too lazy and too content, and so then he got his ass kicked and then he's like, "Fuck, I gotta go back to my Philadelphia roots,"
Yeah.
And that's how it felt, but it felt like a lot of the training they did was like stuff that was more modern, like not stuff that they would do back then.
Yeah, like back then you think they would just like take some snuff and like just slap each other and like get each other just to start.
Oh yeah, or like or like hit just like practice in a barn, hitting like some sacks of grain or something. But he's doing all this stuff that you would probably like boxers might actually do now. I was like, okay, like I've seen Rocky like a million times, all of them. Even the terrible Rocky 5, and this is like I kind of felt like it was a little bit like that, and that kind of like
Well, a lot of what I was reading from on this one is like there's quite a bit of people who were saying that Rocky might have borrowed some of
his life
as to write the Rocky story, because like I mean this happened before Rocky, so
yes, yeah. Yeah.
So, which I can see. I don't know if it's true or not, but I mean, I can see that.
Who knows? Everything's borrowed from everything now, right?
Yeah. But yeah, I found I liked all the like the act like Russell Crowe. I can't remember his trainer's coach.
Oh
like,
yeah, that guy was pretty good.
Those guys were amazing. Like every time they were on the screen or talking, I was like, oh yeah, this is good stuff. Mm-hmm. But I don't know why they. I think the lead actor was the writer also.
Yeah, Matt Hookins,
and he put himself in that. And I don't know if he would have picked somebody else, because he was the weak link to it.
Yeah,
I thought if they had put a better actor on there, because every time he was on there, everything he did was pretty much stale.
He felt pretty one dimensional.
Yeah,
Ray Winstone was his trainer.
Okay, but like the main character like. That was
he's kind of like flat. He was kind of flat.
That was the hardest part but it was like the other characters that kind of pushed me along to keep watching it. I did enjoy it. It wasn't like a great movie, but because I like boxing, and the like MMA stuff. I like that kind of stuff. And I liked the movie, but like there was parts where his acting was really bad, and I was just like, I don't know if I can go through this. But then like Russell Crowe would show up, or like or the trainer guy would say stuff, or anybody else, any other actor that would actually pay.
Does anyone besides him, even the whore in the whorehouse, was better than him?
I was mad that whore brought me back in.
Yeah, I was almost checked out when I saw those tits. I was back in. I was fucking hooked again.
And then I kind of felt like the visuals were really weird. It felt like it was shot like on an Instagram filter.
I felt like a teenager was doing it.
Yeah, because it
was I felt like the cinematography was kind of like weird. Like somebody was doing it for the first time.
Yeah, like they had just taken their phone and they just put like some weird filter on and they're just like filming it.
Yeah, I felt that way too.
Yeah, it felt kind of amateurish. But I don't know. I don't know if it helped the film or hurt it because of the grittiness to it.
I don't think it. On my opinion, I don't feel like it helped.
You don't think it helped?
No, I don't think so. It
depends on the.
There's been a lot of, but there's been a lot of movies that are like older or something that are gritty that are shot correctly. Mm-hmm. Like this one, like I just felt like you said it was some Instagram, filter or something, or Facebook, and it just didn't seem right. Like I felt like sometimes a little bit of the story and the other actors, not Matt Hookins, but some of the acting was overshadowed by that, because like some of that I'd be watching, I'm like, all right, like is the whole thing gonna be like this? And it's like, But then again, when it came back to tits, then I was back in. I was like, all right, I can. Like as long as I can see the tits, as long as I can see the tits, it's not too dark.
Yeah, another thing that kind of made me laugh is like everybody had like this grumbly voice.
I know.
Everybody sounded all like.
I know, right? It sounded like sailors.
Like everybody did, even like the women. Even the women had like.
I know. I was like, what the fuck? I know his mom. She's.
I know everybody sounded like she was smoking for 20 years.
Poor lady was like so distraught the whole movie. Like she was never smiled once until
I know.
the very end.
Yeah.
When he was getting his ass beat, that was it. But it was like, man, it's like it was again. It was good, like hearing about him, the first champion of England. That was pretty cool, and seeing the fights and seeing how they fought. But again, like some of it just, the cinematography just didn't work for me. I liked the landscapes. I liked how like some of the, whether he was training at looked pretty cool.
Yeah.
I just, in Bristol and stuff, but I just didn't, it was a good movie. I think I would give it like 3 stars.
3 stars? Yeah, it's like it was an average kind of film. Like if it popped on while I was, I was walking into the room and it came on and I started watching, I'd be like, yeah, that was good.
Yeah.
Another thing I didn't really care for was the music.
Music?
Yeah, because it just seemed sometimes it felt like it was like old timey, and then all of a sudden it would like become like more dated.
Like modern?
Yeah, and it would just like switch up. It felt like it would just switch up in the middle, and it kind of threw me out of the feel of the movie,
Yeah, I got you.
But other than that, like and the Instagram filter, and I would have preferred.
Matt Hooking's not there.
Well, because I saw Russell Crowe, and I'm like, man, if Russell Crowe was younger and played the lead role,
like the Cinderella Man, remember that?
Yeah, this movie, it would have been the Cinderella Man. It would have been a lot better.
Yeah. But I mean, they have him on the front cover, like he's he's in it for like 10 minutes.
Yeah,
like,
well, because he's like probably the biggest name they have.
I know, he's the big draw. I get it.
And then they have him at the beginning, so you're like thinking, oh, he's gonna be in there. Maybe he's gonna like train him, or you know,
exactly.
Like, oh,
teach him, grow him.
Grandpa's gonna come and can teach me how to box, and you know,
yeah.
And that's what I was thinking at first. And then he fucking dies, and I'm like, what?
Mm-hmm.
Then they bring this other guy that's like gravelly voice, and I'm like, oh, okay, well, at least he's kind of good.
Yeah. And I know I had a hard time. I have to watch these British shows, man, with subtitles. That's gravelly voice. I was able to overcome the gravelly voice with the subtitles.
Well, I'm glad you survived it.
I did, man. That was tough. I don't do pirate talk very well.
Yeah, so yeah, I would give it like same as you, about a 3
stars.
3 out of 5. Yeah.
Yeah. It wasn't horrible. It was just it was fine.
Yeah.
All right. So what are we going to be doing next week?
So next week, we're no longer going to do series. We're going to continue doing the 2 shows, but we're going to do 2 movies that we're going to pick.
All right.
So my pick for you to watch, for us to watch, is going to be a Netflix show Netflix movie called Office Invasion.
Office Invasion?
Yeah.
Okay. And for you, what we're gonna watch on HBO Max is called Father of the Bride.
The new one?
Yeah, we're gonna check this one out. That's what it's about.
Shit. All right. Well, I remember the old ones with Steve Martin.
Oh, did he do Father of the Bride, or was that Parenthood he did?
No, I think it was Father of the Bride. Yeah.
Did he? Okay.
Steve Martin with. I remember those being pretty good, but you know it had Steve Martin in it, so.
Yeah, he was good. Yeah, they've done like a few of them. Like this one from the 1950s, and then Father of the Bride, like in the early 90s.
And I thought there was Father of the Bride 2.
There's 2 and 3.
Yeah, because I remember because they were very popular when they came out in the 90s.
You know, I didn't watch those.
I watched the first one, and it was
I
okay.
Did too.
It was
I saw the first one.
It was okay because I mean it was a comedy. It was they had a lot of great people on it. Mm-hmm. Martin Short was on it. He was hilarious on there.
Yeah, he was good.
And Steve Martin. I love Steve Martin.
Yeah, Steve Martin has been around since we were kids.
Yeah, so I don't know how this one's gonna be because it's a remake of it, and I just feel it's gonna be shit. But
yeah, we'll see.
We'll see.
You may be pleasantly surprised.
Yeah, we'll have to go watch things that we normally don't.
Yep.
All right.
That's the whole goal.
All right, so that we got our assignments for next week.
Sounds good.
All right, so we're gonna take off. Everyone have a good night, and we'll see you guys next week.
Bye-bye, everyone.